to the Great Wall to see the dragon, to the charming halls of Copenhagen. My Paris lights, Road 66 and 14 nights. Distance dissolves in coexistence. Borders are the human indifference. Difference is in melody. Peace is immunity. Tolerance is unity for the sake of humanity. One sky above. Long live the dove. If tolerance is the beast of inner self, discovering cultures is the forgotten wealth. Float the boat on the Niger River. Trip to Tibet for a life picture. Under the Aztecs structures. Marvel at the ancient Greek sculptures. Praise the Haka of the Maori. Savannah ride, Serengeti safari. Greet India's guru, a journey sunset by the Uluru. Like a sun and a star, difference makes us who we are. Difference is the melody, peace is immunity. Tolerance is unity for the sake of humanity. One sky above. Long live the love.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Eamon BK singing One Sky Above. Personally, I enjoyed the beat. I thought sometimes the music was a little too loud to understand the words, but the words are very meaningful. We have Lizette in our chat room. No, Suzette. I am sorry. I take that back. Suzette. Suzette LT. California. Wow. We're reaching 3,000 miles away, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's great. So it is approximately 7:20 in California. I assume the weather is fine, and I'm hoping that, because I know in November, I know down in San Diego, you get those Santa Ana winds, and you tend to have those wildfires. And this is usually the month that it happens in, if I recall correctly. I have a nephew who lives in LA, and he's going for his doctorate in fine arts, and he's also teaching a few classes there. And I have a dear friend I have two dear friends who live in San Diego. So they keep telling me how great the weather is, but I like a temperate climate. I like the change. We have a lady in the chat room, Suzette LT, that I am chatting with. I am going to put the Rev on with you now. I'm going to make a cup of coffee. Santa Ana for about 4 or 5 years. Okay. That's where she is. She's in Santa Ana. So hold on a second while I put my other half on and you can chat with him for a while. Besides, he needs the practice in typing.
Thanks. All right, let's see. Who we're talking?
Suzette.
Suzette from Santa Ana. Actually, we haven't had Santa Ana.
Never had Santa Ana.
No, calling, no. Never had a call from Santa Ana. Give me a second. I'm just trying to catch up on the messages. So tell me, how do you feel about the elections? I don't know if if the doc asked you or not. Okay, so, well, on my end, I sort of thought Trump would win, and the doc was very pro Hillary. Actually, probably Bernie more than Hillary in the big. But then he took right on. He took what he lost. Excuse me. He followed to Hillary. I just didn't trust her at all.
Well, let's put it this way. I thought that Hillary was better suited to lead the country. She had the experience and the know-how. I was very much worried about Trump being not having the experience. I was always gung-ho for Bernie Sanders. I felt that he was speaking more to the American people, the average person like myself.
Well, that's what actually Trump did.
Well, but Trump spoke to a different base. That's the thing. You know,
he spoke to a middle class blue collar worker.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people think that the average Trump supporter was somebody who was out of work and couldn't find work and lost his home. But actually, the average Trump supporter earned $72,000 a year, still had a home, and had a job.
Yeah, it'd be great if you can give us a call. It's 646-595 oh boy, I forgot which number it is. What's the number, Mark? 646.
It's 646-595-3275. And we would welcome a phone call. Thank you very much. Who was she backing? Trump?
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Which is rare in California, I will say.
He spoke for blue collar worker. Yeah, of course. Come to think of it, that's the same person probably that Hitler spoke to.
Oh, he spoke. Well, when we make comparisons like that, we have to understand that after the Treaty of Versailles, I love history, the Allied forces blamed Germany for everything. And in turn, Hitler blamed the Weimar Republic. Oh, we have, okay.
Okay, all right. We've got Suzette on from area code 909. How are you today?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
Okay. I was just explaining to Felix the rise of Trump being similar to the rise of Hitler in World War II, because at the end of World War One, the Treaty of Versailles, the Allies blamed Germany for everything. They weren't allowed to have an army. Okay, they were the reparations that they had to pay back, and the weakness of the Weimar Republic, which was their attempt at a democratic government. And then he slowly rose to power with a few followers. And the story that he was telling was this of nationalism, which was something that the people wanted to hear. And Trump, with his story of nationalism, wanting to make America great, wanting to give America back to the people, that there were certain people who felt disenfranchised. Okay, this was a message that resonated, while Hillary, the only thing she managed to tell people is that we're stronger together, which is not exactly a rallying point. And as I said before when we were speaking to our other guests, if you listen to Trump and how he rouses his audience, and then you watch a Hillary rally, there isn't much there, really. So there was really no comparison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard...
Well, Bernie started out with a few followers and built his followers up as well, too. And I wasn't quite sure what Bernie's message was.
Bernie's message was more to the average, ordinary person who felt, as with Trump, left out. Okay, felt like the America that they remembered was passing them by, that the 2000...
he wanted to make America great. I'm sorry, excuse me. He wanted to make America great, and Hillary wanted to be stronger together. And Bernie was... I don't know what Bernie was.
Well,
He didn't have a...
Yeah, he didn't... Yeah,
Bernie... No, he really did. Bernie did have a message. His message was that if you look back at 2008, when we were almost thrown into the throes of a terrible depression, people were losing their jobs, people were losing their life savings, they were losing their homes. And while the government bailed out Wall Street, no one went to prison for it. And this is what Bernie was talking about. If this had happened to you and me, we would have gone to prison.
Bernie's message was let the government give you everything for free.
Well, to some people, yes.
Again, they each had their slogan, and behind their slogan was what their message was. And so basically, I guess behind their message was what they stood for. So Hillary said, let's stand together, or together strong. So her message was if everybody worked together and united, then I guess they could accomplish whatever it was that she wanted to accomplish. And then Trump's was make America great. And then what his message behind that was to turn the government, like you said, over to the people. And so Bernie's, he has a message, but he didn't have something to nail it by. You know what I mean?
Well, no, he was hoping that people would follow him, because what he was saying, as far as, corporate America never paid for the mistakes that were made in 2008 and 2009, which caused such a high unemployment rate. And he said that there's got to be something that is wrong with this, and we have to overturn it, and we can do it if we work together to try to make change. Whether people thought that at 74 he was too old. Yet the funny thing is, he appealed to the millennials, who were anywhere from 18 to 30, or 18 to 34, let's say. And when he backed out, when he realized that he couldn't win, although I really think that if he had gotten more backing, I think he would have given Trump more of a run for his money than Hillary did, because he was honest.
Yeah.
If you watched his rallies, he was really turning the people on, and Trump did the same thing. He really turned the people on. Hillary, it didn't do very much.
Hillary squashed Bernie with her maneuvers.
And the thing with
and that
look,
was it.
Hillary made a lot of mistakes.